This is DireWolf's, and today I'm with Fluffals to give you a deck profile. I apologize for the lack of content for however long between school starting back up and our personal lives. Things have been hectic. That and schedule conflictions. Now off with the deck profile. I play 3 mouse. Is what lets you run Mrs. Radiant, basically. 3 mouse, 3 cat. Because it's like some people saying, but cat's bad. I like being able to use poly multiple times. Yeah, that's the thing this deck has. Getting a poly is not that hard, but being able to fusion multiple times without a decent hand. 2 Octo, because it's normal summon effect, which you don't use that much. It's summon effect, which you don't really use that often. Can be helpful, but so is its grave effect whenever setting up for a Fright for Fusion, which sends 2 banished monsters back to grave. Mouse lets you special summon up to 2 mouse from deck. And cat, when used as fusion material, lets you add poly back from grave to hand. I play 2 wings, so maybe yelling at me, but 2 wings is perfect because the amount you're going through the deck, you're probably going to run if you play 3, you're probably going to run across 2, but you can only activate, it's a hard once per turn. It's grave effect. That, and chances you're getting multiple toy vendors, which is kind of high, sometimes doesn't happen that often. Now after level 2s. I played 2 sheep. So summon it whenever you control Fluffal. Activate its effect. Fluffal back to hand to switch summon Edge Imp from grave. It's really useful if you don't have an Edge Imp and you have no fusion monster on field to fusion with. Play 1 out. It's a searches poly when it's normal or special summoned, and you can pay 500 life to do poly. Not really much of a cost since your opponent's supposed to be dead by the end of the turn. I play 3 King of the Swamp because makes the deck a lot more consistent about getting poly, and also you can use it from grave with Fright for Fusion to be used as saw, sabers, anything really. 2 bear, since you basically with that run 5 toy vendor and you only run 2 wings. It works. It's good enough. Play 1 sabers because I say you only need 1 because I used to run 2 King of Swamp and 2 sabers. I wasn't getting all the polys I need, so run this at 1. That way you can always have it, and you can use the King of the Swamps for the Fright for Fusion. I play 3 Chain because being able to search out Fright for Fusion and Fright for Factory, which I play 1 of, it's really good recursion, and milling it off of toy vendor is your best bet, or discarding it, or just using it as fusion. Go ahead, you run 3. 3 Penguin. Penguin, once per turn, you can special summon 1 Fluffal monster from your hand, which is good to either get a mouse, owl, dog, is good. And when it's used as fusion material and sent to grave, draw 2 cards to discard 1, which sit with chain, which is really nice, or you just draw into toy vendor. Really good stuff. And then 3 dog. 3 dog because, well, it gets you wings, bear, anything you need. It's really good, but it takes up a normal summon, which you don't have a whole lot of. On the spells. 3 toy vendor. Toy vendor is fucked, discard a card. Draw a card, reveal it. If it's a Fluffal monster, you can keep it in your hand or you special summon it. If it's not a Fluffal, it's go to grave. This is a discard, which means you do get Chain's effect off. So it's not milling from the deck. 3 Fright for Factory. You can use it to disperse summon any Frightful monster by banishing materials from grave. It's really good. Searchable with the 3 chain, and you're most likely going to come across chain at least once, if not 2 times. Play 3 poly because this is a fusion deck. Yes, they're all different rarities, and it bothers me greatly. I only play 1 instant fusion because Frightful Sheep is level 5, and it's your only target. And also gives you stuff to fusion with without getting edge imp. I only play 1 because you only really need 1. I mean, unless you want to bump it up to 2. But that's your choice. 1 for 1 because having a decent amount of level 1s. You can get cat if you need it. You can get mouse, which is what I do most of the time. If it's already in my hand. Or you can get wings. Also, the discard effect is nice if you have something in hand you don't want in hand. Then I play 1 Frightful Factory. Basically, you can poly by banishing 1 poly or fusion, and when this is sent to grave, you can add a Frightful Fusion that is banished back to your hand, which is really nice if your opponent doesn't know what they're doing. And that's it for the main deck. No traps, because you're not supposed to go past the first turn. I only play 1 sheep because it's the only target for instant fusion. That's the only real reason you run it. That is literally it. I play 2 wolf because it can attack you to the number of materials used. Some of you saying, well, that doesn't really work. Well, Frightful Fusion. You've just done all of your plays and you have 1 space left, or you got board wiped by Torrential Tribute if someone runs that. But it's really nice, and it can end games really fast. If your opponent does not have anything on board that's higher than 2k. Though this attack does get raised with a few cards. 3 Tiger, because it can destroy number of cards on either player's field equal to the number of materials. Which means you can pop your own toy vendor to search, pop your own factory, anything. And it's really nice. It also raises the attack of 300 for each Frightful and Fluffal monster. So, when this comes up, it's usually 22. But whenever you start going in for a Frightful Sabretooth, it just gets stronger. It's really good. I play 1 Leo. I really don't use it that often because, well, this is post-link, first off. Which means you don't have a whole lot of space, even when you have Mrs. Radiant. Which means you're going to have to be careful. And that you kind of have to sacrifice King of the Swamp, which you're discarding to get a poly, to continue your plays, or to start your plays. Which means you're mostly going to use Frightful Fusion on this. But if you've already got a board set up, like if you have a Tiger on board and a Sabretooth, maybe 2 Sabretooth, well, play this for a minute, but is not that good compared to Wolf, the end games. Now, the one I use most often to start plays is Kraken. It can attack up to twice per turn, and it has a Dante effect at the end of battle phase to where it goes into defense. And once per turn, and this is a soft once per turn, you can send 1 monster your opponent controls to the grave, and this cannot attack directly that turn. This is a soft once per turn, which means if you use it for sabers and you make it come back, you can use its effect again, or attack directly if they have nothing on field after that. Now, sabers, one of your main plays that you continue with, it's really good. Can't say much after that. If you use 3 materials, which you're most likely going to use because stuff likes to be sent to grave as fusion material, it's just really good. And it cannot be destroyed by battle or a card effect, though it can be targeted, which sucks. It also, all Frightful monsters you control gain 400, including itself, so it's 28 when it comes on board. I play 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, because I've only ever used it in 1 duel. but it's there in case you need it and you have nothing else. This is literally a last resort. You can put anything to replace it with if you don't want to put it in here. I just like playing it because, well, you already have most of what you need in the right amount. Then you have 2 Mrs. Radiant. All Earth monsters gain attack and defense by 500, and all Wind monsters lose 400 attack and defense. That doesn't really ever matter because most of your fusions are dark. Though, this is the only play you can make at that turn because you bricked. Well, at least you have a slightly better defense. All I can say. That when it's sent to grave, add Earth monster, which, since you play 2, you don't need to target it if it's the first one sent to grave. You can target a Fluffal to continue your plays next turn. That's about it. There is no sideboard because what do you side out? This deck can and will brick, so why would you hit its consistency even more? And I apologize if the video sucks because I'm filming this by myself and I don't have Zero here to help me. I think that's it for Fluffals. See you guys.